Hello everyone, and welcome to game number 2 mini between Zuzani, Blues, Gameslayer, and Corwin in our FFA tournament day 2. So, this map is looking interesting. We've got all of the aluminum, iron, carbon, no silicon. Look at this. Look at this. This is gross. There's one high and 2 mediums. And that's it. Then we've got 30 water tiles about scattered around, but plenty of ice as well, so water could get interesting at certain points. Great scientific spot right here, potentially. That is not Gameslayer because it's a robot who didn't found in the middle of silicon, because there is no silicon patch this time. Zuzani going to very, very quickly gather up that nice scientific spot. Corwin with the robot. Blues is going to be grabbing up a scavenger location. No big surprise there. Blues seems to like his scavenger. And Gameslayer is still unsure.
Don't worry.
He says, I don't know, guys. Finally, he gets a nice crater for himself to live in. Thankfully, a pretty big crater. So I think he's going to be okay here with that. And we're just going to have to see what happens moving forward. I expect Blues to hit the upgrade pretty fast. Corwin could have upgraded already if he'd sold down some electronics. He did not do that, so he's going to be a little bit late there. There goes Zuzani, and Gameslayer should not be too far behind, but it was a very, very late found for him. And that is going to be causing problems. Obviously, he now has a little bit of insulation from getting eliminated. He cannot be eliminated completely from the FFA. But, he still would like to win, so he doesn't have to put everything on the line afterward. Zuzani, Blues, and Gameslayer all one win away from taking the FFA portion of this match. Whereas Corwin, he would have to pull out 2 in a row in order to move forward from here. So he is definitely in kind of an uncomfortable position. And Cold Fusion auction comes up this early. I expect this to go for a lot of cash. These guys are going to make me wrong because they love doing that. But this should go for a lot of cash, in my opinion. Cold Fusion is so fantastic early game, especially for a scientist. You drive up the price of water. You don't worry about power so much. It's absolutely fantastic. So Zuzani should be going pretty hard on this, but it looks like Gameslayer. It's kind of nice in general for Zuzani that the patent got picked up. So Gameslayer is going to be the one getting the I don't pay as much for power benefit, whereas Zuzani, he's going to be sitting pretty on the fact that water is getting more expensive, and he's a scientist, so he's just going to pull it straight out of the ground and not care. So that's going to be nice for him. Should be noted that Blues, despite his early upgrade, he decided to settle for a medium silicon tile. He did not push all the way to the corner for the high. So that was still available for Gameslayer after the fact. And he is going to go into his very, very standard I found it late. I am going to pick up a silicon tile and 2 glass furnaces. That gives him a nice, reasonable source of cash if he absolutely needs it for the black market, which is interesting this game. But it also just gives him that glass upgrade. Gameslayer playing very defensively, absolutely does not want to be attacked, whereas Blues, he's just rushing through things for now. He's got all kinds of aluminum coming in, all kinds of carbon coming in. And he just wants to push upgrades as fast as he possibly can, moving into some reactors now. I was a little bit concerned about some of that reactor placement, but he cleaned it up. It's alright, he doesn't need to worry. He's got the water, he's got the reactors, and he got his extra claim for hitting HQ level 3, which really lets him get away with his play quite easily, and he's pushed himself into a strong spot this game. Zuzani going into more water stuff, reactors himself. No big surprise there. Even seeing Blues going for this play into the reactors, he kind of sees that water's already pretty expensive. He knows that Gameslayer is just going to be keeping that price elevated with his Cold Fusion for a little while. So I'm not surprised to see Zuzani as a scientist choosing to go into these reactors. Alright, let's go ahead and take a good look at the black market this time. We do have holograms, Pirates EMP Power Surge, Adrenaline Boost, Network Virus, Mutiny, and Goon Squads available. So that is kind of a nice black market setup in a lot of ways. Pretty powerful, but I think Zuzani is going to be really happy to see that. Combined with his scientist location, Definitely a nice call. Scientists far more resistant to EMPs and power surges. Can easily get nice boosts out of adrenaline boost. Not easy to hit with network viruses or any of the rest of this garbage. Effectively, it's just pirates he would have to worry about. But he's got so much water right next to his base that he doesn't really have to care. So that's a really, really nice black market setup for Zuzani this game. Corwin still a little bit stuck again. Going into these quick wind turbines. Not going to make him enough money with how early he founded, and that is definitely going to be causing him problems for the duration of this game. Just not enough cash coming in. He still has a claim sitting around. So it's just a very, very awkward situation for him to be in right now. Just a little bit stuck. All right.
The black market is online.
So, Gameslayer does have the upgrade available. He is going to go for it. He pushed to that very quickly, just off that glass production. You can clearly see that's doing work for him. And Blues is struggling with the reactors. That very elevated water price is making sure that those reactors aren't all that valuable. Now, he does have a lot of water coming in, but it just wasn't quite enough to knock that price down, to keep the reactors solid. It's just, they did not work out for Blues at all, and that really let Gameslayer and Zuzani keep pace with him quite solidly this game. Alright, solar panels coming down for Zuzani. Gameslayer has been avoiding power, and he may just keep doing that for the duration of this game. It's quite possible that he could just go into more water. He's already got 3 established, which is quite a lot. He's going into an additional glass furnace if he can pull it off. Power surge did land on him earlier. But he's got 3 claims sitting around, and he doesn't seem to know what to do with them exactly. He should have the cash to be able to utilize them. Maybe he'll be looking at farms. Maybe he'll be looking at reactors. Well, that's a solid power surge onto these boosted solar panels, making sure those don't cause too many problems for everyone else. But Gameslayer, you hit that upgrade, you've got to use it, man. Come on. You can't just be sitting around. Like, his advantage from hitting the upgrade early has just turned into a straight disadvantage. And Zuzani, with that goon squad and this boost, he's going to be in a pretty solid spot. He does get EMP'd, but as you can see, he's a scientist, so the boost outlasts the EMP. It's pretty crazy. Alright, Gameslayer, you managed to push to HQ5. That's good. I still recommend you use your claims. There we go. We're seeing some reactors come down. I'm pretty okay with that out of Gameslayer. Water has come all the way down, which is great for him to move into reactors and farms on. And what are we looking at for Offworlds this game, since we've already got an HQ level 5 player? Oxygen up at 630, food at 579. Those are some pretty fantastic Offworlds. Everybody else is probably going to want to be pushing to those pretty quickly. I wouldn't be too surprised to see Gameslayer just try and rush with these. He's going into 1 engineering lab, at least. 2 claims left for him. We'll have to keep an eye on what those turn into. Alright. Silicon plot being auctioned off, got added to the board. That is not something people are going to want to have happened, as everybody had already secured a little bit of silicon for themselves, and oh, it's just a little bit awkward, this game. 12,000 is what that's going to go to Blues for at this point. And who is sitting on the most cash? Blues is sitting on about 50,000 cash. Can't upgrade, though, because carbon is just so expensive. He might be looking for a quick kill. Whereas Zuzani is just upgraded, and so Zuzani is actually very open to being taken down right now. He just upgraded. He's going to want to be trying to move into buildings, and people could potentially get a lot of damage done to Zuzani by attacking him right in this moment. But it looks like Blues might be a bit more committed. He wants to sit in this glass shortage. Absolutely wants to sit in that glass shortage that I'm sure Gameslayer was upset about. Get all kinds of cash on this, and then he will be looking to kill someone with this, I think. Look at how much money this is in favor of Blues. It's like $110,000 he's got sitting around. That is just pretty darn fantastic. And what are you going to do? Is it Gameslayer that he's after at this point? It is. Gameslayer is the one he selected to kill. That is really unfortunate for Gameslayer. Not what you want to see. I don't know what you honestly do about that. It's kind of why I hate how shorts work. Nobody is helping defend him. Nobody wants to keep him alive. I think Blues is going to have the kill in just a moment. And that'll do it. Gameslayer knocked out here. And Blues picks up an extra HQ for himself. Now, he is still HQ level 4. But he got a lot of claims off that. That was a lot of claims in his favor. It's true, though. It's true, though. Man. More adrenaline boosts going down for Zuzani, making quite a lot of cash off of that. That was just really unfortunate timing for Gameslayer. That glass shortage could not have come at a worse moment for him. Just transitioning out of glass. Very, very sad. All right.
Baltic colony expanded.
Well, Corwin has managed to push to HQ4. Gotten some farms down, or making him some money. Would like to see a little more steel out of him fairly soon.
Stock's getting sold.
And Blues, what are you going to get after at this point? He still kind of wants to upgrade in a lot of ways, one would think. That's what he'll probably be looking for before too long. He kind of missed his opportunity to have an easy kill on Zuzani, but in exchange, he got the slightly more difficult, potentially, kill on Gameslayer. Alright, financial instruments heading over to Blues for 8,000. That seems reasonable. Nobody really has debt this game. Not what he's looking for. Blues does have the ability to upgrade at this point, and it's not oppressively expensive anymore, because carbon has finally come down in price. And whoa, Blues is just going to get aggressive right here and now against Zuzani. It says, alright, you'd better defend yourself. You got to get your stocks bought now. So Zuzani, I think he's going to be okay here. He's got enough cash coming in. He's already headed to thinking machines, interestingly enough. But this is potentially a... This is potentially a dangerous situation for him still. Now, Blues has to push to 2. Zuzani only needs 1, and Zuzani has more cash on hand. So he is going to survive. But it's definitely maybe slowed him down just a bit. Not really what he was looking to have happen. He's going to have trouble using this patent office for a moment. He can't really transition very well. He actually made a transition into Chem Labs. Very dangerous thing to do when someone is trying actively to kill you. But we'll see how that ends up panning out. Blues, unfortunately, once again, his reactors are burning money. He does not have enough water coming in to really be making all of this work, and I don't think he's going to manage to get that last little bit before Zuzani manages to secure it himself. That should be it in just a moment here. 26,000. The stock gets purchased, and Zuzani lives for now. All right. Well, I don't know what's going to happen from here, guys. It's destroy, buyout. Blues, yeah, he has that destroy, buyout. He has that colony purchased up, but he's still not HQ level 5 just yet. He does not have the ability to move into Offworlds. And Zuzani's just sitting here behind this adrenaline boost this whole time, getting work done. Interestingly enough, this office is getting rebuilt, which is very strange to me. Because there's no dynamite here. Did I miss a dynamite auction? I don't think I did. Zuzani feeling a bit indecisive here for sure. Alright, circuit overload. What are we going to do with that? Not too big a deal. Power's not all that expensive. Nobody is relying on it all that much. For some reason, it's getting a very expensive price tag attached to it. I don't know why anybody cares this much about circuit overloads at the moment. Power's just not worth anything, guys. Come on. Blues isn't going to end up taking it for $18,000, though.
The black market is online.
And Blues, what do you have to do from here? Carbon is back up at $114 a piece. No way he is going to be able to upgrade anytime soon. Probably wants to get out of these chem. Oh, well, there's the Offworld. So that answers that question, which I honestly couldn't remember. if you could use the fact that you bought an HQ level 5 colony to put up an off-world market, and yes, you can, which significantly increases the value of that purchase on Gameslayer, because it's like he got an HQ level 5 on his own, plus he killed somebody. And it was in a moment where he couldn't push to HQ level 5 himself, so that suddenly makes that move very, very nice for Blues, that purchase. And I think Zuzani might be in a lot of trouble here. Pleasure Dome is coming up. Yeah, he's got all these patents secured, and he's just going to keep raking them in. But at some point, you got to find a way to turn those patents into money. And Blues, he's got the boost ready to go. He's going to hit it, and suddenly, that is a lot of cash coming in very, very quickly off these food launches for Blues. Corwin's basically out of it. Blues doesn't have to worry about him doing anything crazy. Doesn't have to worry about purchasing him or doing anything too nuts at this point. He's just got one off-world. Carbon is pulling in crazy amounts of cash. The electronics, not so much. The glass, not so much. Silicon is still pretty good. The reactors are back on track. Water is still strong. And I feel like Blues might be wrapping this one up very, very soon in just a moment here. I mean, Zuzani, I don't know what he can do about this. Like, his last shot, really, I think, because he went for this patent office, is going to be to get aggressive against Blues, try and make him defend himself, maybe make him misstep in the push somewhere in there, but still, like, if you compare their edges, Blues has the off-world down. He's got more territory than Zuzani does. Zuzani only has this little patent office. A network virus. That does have the interesting effect of making it so that these can't be scrapped at all. They can't be moved around, but it didn't really extend out to everything. So it's not going to get all that much work done long term. Yeah, Blues is like, why did I do that? I don't understand. I'm kind of an idiot. Not in so many words, but you get the point. Another silicon auction. Really, game? Really? We got to be doing that? We shouldn't be doing that. Regardless, Blues needs 291,000 to finish this up. This food launch into a cancel of the launch does it, I think. 310, just the food launch alone. That is going to be Zuzani knocked out. Corwin is not even a little bit in it. Blues is just going to buy him up very, very quickly here. Pick up those 6. Yeah, Corwin says he'll just concede. GG. So that is going to be 2 games over to Blues. So he does win this FFA portion. And he is going to have to go up against Gameslayer to secure his spot in the final. Still, a nice win over to Blues. Nice win over to Blues.